Rocco Commisso joins us this morning on the show. Rocco, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, young man. I call you young because I'm an old man.
That's okay. I appreciate that. That sounds like a compliment. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, it's been pretty active these days. We bought the team not more than a month and a half ago. And I was able, after Charlie Stulitano called me up the day after I signed the contract, to commit to bring Fiorentina to the U.S. We were in Chicago, then Charlotte, and tonight is my big day. Right? This is my neighborhood, my city, the place that I immigrated to, the place where I went to school, where I worked. I've been in every bar almost, working or outside the bars. Now I live in Jersey, and there's going to be a lot of purple, a lot of viola in the stands tonight.
Yeah.
And I would hope that everyone join us to celebrate, this major event that's going to take place tonight at Red Bull Arena. And I agree with you, it's probably the nicest stadium in the entire country to watch a soccer game.
How do these summer exhibition matches, the International Champions Cup, how do they help grow the sport here in the States?
Well, look, I mean, you're getting exposed. With all the games that are taking place, you're getting exposed with the best teams in the world. It's if, for those of you that are not soccer fans, it's if the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox and the Dodgers and the Giants and who won the World Cup, who won the Super Bowl, and the Boston, the New England Patriots, right?
Yeah.
If they all go to Italy or Europe and play games, they are doing for the exhibition season. Will be a huge turnout because even in Europe, there's people that love these sports. So I think the American fans have by now grown used to the fact that the quality of play is significantly different in Europe as opposed to the U.S. So they get thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of fans coming to these games, unlike what's happening in MLS, frankly.
What do you think the potential is for the American soccer marketplace? You have now seen this over the course of 40, 45 years here stateside. What has been your observations about the soccer marketplace in the States?
Well, look, for the women's side, and by the way, I have a stadium at Columbia University. Both the women and the men, and I'm very proud, play there. I coached for many years, little girls and little boys. So with respect to the women, we both know they've done phenomenal, right? And largely because women, the little kids, got exposed to soccer at a very young age at a time when nobody else around the world did. And Title IX, when Title IX was imposed here, I gave the women the same opportunities as the men to get scholarships to college. So we're way ahead on the women, and results in the field prove that. We just won the World Cup. With respect to the man, unfortunately, I have very little good to say as to how we have progressed. Yes, there's a lot of soccer. Yes, we have more kids playing the game in the U.S. than at any other point in time, more than any other nation, except for, I think, maybe China. But we haven't produced the results. And I think we have won 6 games. By the way, USA has been part of FIFA since 1913, ahead of Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil. So how is it possible that after all these years, we have to go back, I think since 1930, we won 6 games in World Cup competition. Recently we did not qualify for the World Cup in Russia, playing a relatively weak CONCACAF. So I think this goes back to the organizational setup here. And one of the negatives, big time negatives, in my opinion, that exists with soccer is they try to emulate the other leagues in this country, which is in a closed system where you never get promoted and you never get relegated if you screw up. So you have teams, for instance, like the Knicks, and I used to be a fan of the Knicks, right? They haven't won anything since 1973, but, a win or lose, they still make money. They still play the Madison Square Garden, and they never get relegated to the lower division to the extent that it would be here in the U.S. In Italy and in France and in Spain and all over the world except for the U.S., you screw up, you go down. And that has huge financial ramifications, so which forces you to invest, to get hopefully the best players you could get so that you don't have a year where you run the risk of getting relegated. And that's what's missing in this country, the constant pressure to perform to the last day so that you don't go to a lower division. And that's my point, and it flows through, into the USSF, the people that are running it, whether they know what they're doing or not, and they're frankly, and I have lawsuits going on with the USSF, trying to keep people like myself, that's grown up with soccer from a little kid, coach, played, owned, supporter, everything that's to be talked about soccer, away from the organizational setup in this country and how this game should be managed and planned for the future.
Rocco Commisso joins us this morning on the show. So you think that without relegation in the States, in MLS and other American soccer leagues, it creates complacency, and that forces us, or it doesn't allow us to really achieve what we really could be our potential on an international soccer stage?
Yeah, that's a major problem because it runs counter to the FIFA rules. And we apply the FIFA rules when it's convenient to us in this country and not follow them when it's inconvenient. So our FIFA rules basically throughout the world is promotion and relegation, except for this country and maybe some other lesser country than us, right, where they don't have enough teams to have more than one league. But in the major countries of South America, of Europe, where the best soccer is being played, where the players are the best, frankly, in every country there's promotion and relegation. So that's a major factor. And two is the organizational setup of how we manage U.S. soccer, where, frankly, one league, which is the MLS, is favored over everybody else. And teams like the Cosmos, they're trying to put them out of business, okay? I'm not here in the program to talk about. We could have another talk at another time, right? But now I'll educate you from everything that I've learned the last 3 years only in the New York Cosmos. I do want to say this about the New York Cosmos. The New York Cosmos has no one in America, okay, just to go back to your original question, has done as well as the Cosmos did in the 1970s. So the question needs to be asked, what happened after the 1970s when the Cosmos used to pull in a Giant Stadium? If you remember Giant Stadium, in New Jersey, 70,000, 80,000 people per game. So what happened since then? And, those are the questions that I'm raising. Those are the questions that everybody should raise. What happened to American soccer, since the 70s where we thought we were going up and then instead we went down?
Is it? Yeah, sorry to cut you off. I was just going to ask you.
No, go ahead.
If it's exciting, to now be part of Fiorentina, because you do have that pressure of avoiding relegation. You do have that pressure from a city to make sure you win. Does that become energizing?
Yeah. Absolutely. Look, I mean, I'm speaking with my mouth and my actions and my money. So when I talk about promotion and relegation, I don't know if you know the story about Fiorentina, but last year was the last game that kept them from going down.
Yeah.
To Serie B. All right. So I'm taking the full risk as to whether we're going to get relegated or stay in Serie A. That's a huge financial risk, and clearly, as I told the team, it would be a huge disappointment for me, if we don't do better than last year. So, look, I bought this team. The prior ownership had it for 17 years. I've asked for time, to put my plans into action, which is not going to happen in one day. And we're in the transfer market as we speak. And the transfer market is the time of the year, like July and August, where players move from one team to the other, and the team is set for the following year. And the fact that we started late, right? I haven't been there for 17 years and not even a year. It's delayed the acquisitions that we want to make, but we still have time, and we will make them. What I asked from the Fiorentina fans in the city, the most beautiful city in the world, by the way. You've heard of Florence, right?
Of course, yeah.
DA.
Yeah.
And the beauty about Florence, not only the beauty of the city and its history, but the fact that Fiorentina is the only team there, unlike some other towns like Milan, Torino, Genova, Roma, where they have two teams as opposed to one. So I have a very, very hot, very impatient, very proud fan base, and I'm there to to satisfy their wanting to win something in the future.
Well, congratulations on tonight. I can't wait to be out there at Red Bull Arena. Check out tonight Fiorentina taking on Benfica. It's an amazing soccer facility, two great fan bases, and Rocco Commisso joins us, owner of Fiorentina, as part of tonight's International Champions Cup at Red Bull Arena in Harrison, New Jersey. Enjoy tonight. I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful event. I can't wait to be out there.
Thank you, DA. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
See ya.